مشاريع التعاملات الإلكترونية الحكومية التي تقدمها جهات مختلفة في القطاعين العام والخاص لن تكون ذات فعالية إلا إذا كان لدى الجهات المتعاملة معها قابلية لتطوير أساليبها في الأداء بما يتوافق مع المتغيرات في التقنيات المستخدمة وجاهزيتها لتحول أعمالها وتعاملاتها إلى الأساليب الرقمية في الوقت نفسه. لا بد من وجود مجتمع واعٍ يحسن استخدام التعاملات الإلكترونية ويثق به ويقبل عليه. وإن سمحتم لي بتقديم عرض مختصر للواقع الذي نعيشه وما يتم العمل عليه حالياً للتحول المأمول باللغة الإنجليزية. I wanted to share with you exactly what we are trying to do to address what's happening in Saudi Arabia when it comes to the usage of smart government and how the Yasser program is helping government agency to achieve that. I have a small agenda for you. We're going to talk about the e-government in Saudi Arabia. We're going to provide you with some facts. And we will define what is the smart government and the smart government in Saudi Arabia. As you may heard before, that Saudi Arabia have achieved the position 41 in the UN PAN Index ranking in 2012. And another ranking, inshallah, is coming soon, before the end of the second quarter for 2014. And inshallah, we will be in the 30s this year. Also, at the beginning of this year, Accenture consulting company, they have done a study for comparing 10 government agencies in the whole world, and Saudi Arabia came in number 5 in terms of the e-government transaction. And this is how the world is seeing Saudi Arabia. But how these things are achieved? How did we achieve these numbers? It's not Yasser. It is all government agency. They are putting a huge effort to achieve this. As everybody know, we are doing Qiyas, the eTransformation, the Saudi eTransformation Index that we have created, and we are measuring government agency once a year. And we measure 152 government agency, and for the 5th Qiyas, which is for last year, 155 government agencies were invited, 152 they replied, and only 2 they did not reply for good reasons, which is new agencies. They are not yet created fully to run their operation using the e-government. The success comes from the leadership inside each government agency, where 150 government agencies, they have created an e-transformation committee, which is looking after the transformation inside the government agency, and they are taking care of all aspects and all business-related issues to make it reality. And as you can see from the second slide, that 88 government agency transformation plan has been approved by the head of the government agency, which is really making our dream true. Some of you sitting in these tables, they participated with us in developing the second action plan. And so I'm sure they remember that we have put a goal that we would like to achieve, that the e-transformation will be one of the top 5 important issues in the head of the agency desk. And as a result of that, you can see now 88 of government officials, head officials, they are really taking the issue in a very serious matter. Also, if we look at it from the execution point of view, we will find 57 government agencies, they have finished 70% or above from the plan they have put for themselves in this running 3 years. And almost 22 government agencies, they are between 50 and 70, which is also not bad. So we can see things are progressing in the right direction that we were planning for. And you, as a citizen of Saudi Arabia or business owners, I'm sure that you have seen and you have felt and you have practiced an excellent e-government services, where today a very secure document like the passport is delivered to your home. When you renew your passport, it's delivered to your home. If you tell me this 2 years ago or 1 year ago or 6 months ago, I will tell you this is impossible to happen in Saudi Arabia. But today, it is a reality. Why? Because all of us, we have worked together to achieve what we want to achieve. So, what is smart government? So many people think smart government is using smart devices to deliver services. But unfortunately, this is not the way that we see it. Using mobility is one of the pillars of smart government. Smart government will take it letter by letter. S means social, using your social network. M is mobility, using smart devices. The A is analytics, which is you have a huge data, you have a big data, and you analyze this data and to improve your business based on what's happening on the ground. And the R is rapid openness. As you can see now, everybody around the world, they are asking for open data, big data. Make your data available for others, so others they can really also see how they can improve their businesses based on your input that you are giving to them. And the T is for the trust. So again, smart is social, mobile, analytics, radical openness, and trust. So what we have done, somebody will ask this question, what you have done yesterday to do that? Okay, actually, back in 2010, 2011, when we start working on the second action plan, and some of the team members are sitting on these tables from different government agencies, they helped us in doing that. At that time, we have addressed all these issues. And we can show you how did we address all these issues in our second action plan. But before that, we will take one by one and we'll show you exactly what we have done and what's happening here in Saudi Arabia. Let's start with the social, which is the S letter. Also in Accenture report, which is out in January, they have asked a question. Would you personally like to use social media in the future when interacting with government department offering public services? The top country came out of the 10 countries in that survey is Saudi Arabia. You guys, you answered yes, we would like to use the social media to interact with government agencies. So this is 2014, and smart government came in 2012 maybe, or 2013 it was coming out. But what we have done in 2010 with the respectable team we have worked with, we came up with a work stream called e-participation work stream. And in there we have 2 initiatives. The first initiative is to increase the use of social media and establish supporting community of practice. The second one, implement e-participation facility for government agency, enabling public feedback on e-government. And this is, you will see it really live by the end of this year, how we are really using the E to have better and effective interaction with the public through the government agency using the social network media. But why in Saudi Arabia, people said, or what we have done to do that, as you can see, to start with our ministry, we use the social to, for example, this is one of the examples, that we get public consultation on every document that we issue. Before we issue it, before we raise it to the Council of Ministers, we put it in our website and we ask people, public, to give us their participation. And this is part of the e-participation that we are doing here in Saudi Arabia. Also, some other ministries, they are doing the same thing. For example, we have Ministry of Foreign Affairs, okay? They are asking people to give their ideas, to give their opinion on different issues related to Ministry of Affairs work. Another example is Ministry of Interior, and maybe all of us heard this, that they are asking you to give your opinion. And this is really something that we should feel proud of, like a Ministry of Interior, which is a ministry that look after the security of this country. Okay, they are asking you, how can we do a better job? Which is a real, true engagement of the involvement of the public. Another example, and maybe everybody heard about this, is Ministry of Labor. You can see the minister himself, he has a Twitter account, and he replies. And you can see how many followers he has and how many messages he sent on a daily basis. We have Ministry of Culture and Information. Also, the minister has a page where he interacts with the public. He has like 28,000 followers, and he do this on a daily basis or an hourly basis. Also, we should not neglect the Ministry of Labor. They have issued a portal where they call it Participate with Us. Please tell us your opinion. Tell us what you think of what we should do in the future, which is real participation that we are looking for. And the reason for that, as you can see from these numbers, I will only focus on one number, which is this one. I don't know where is the, doesn't show, but the one in the middle where we are the highest in the world when it comes to Twitter in Saudi Arabia. So most of us, they like to tweet all the time. So the government heads are really feeling that sense, and they are creating web pages for themselves for you to participate. Also, as a good example for participation, as you can see, each internet user, he sees 7 videos per day, which is a good, excellent way of sending a message to the citizen. Also, another one is Facebook, the same thing. You can see how many likes. For example, the top 10 brands that has likes, like FlyNAS, they have 2.3 million. STC, they have 1.2 million, which is really good. Means that people are interacting with different government agencies, with different companies through the social media. The second letter is the M, which is the mobile, where, again, if we see the Accenture report, they ask a question: would you personally like to use mobile devices in the future when you're interacting with the department offering public service? You can see Saudi Arabia come next after UAE, where Saudi Arabia is almost 86 of the people who answered. They really prefer the mobile devices to be used to get their services. And we have a good reason to promote mobile, because almost we have 190% penetration in mobile here in Saudi Arabia, which is a good indication that almost every person in Saudi Arabia carrying 2 mobiles. So having it, and maybe 70% or 60% of these mobiles are smartphones. So this is a good indication where it is a popular channel, and it could be used for mobility services. What we are doing in Yasser for that, we have an initiative. It's called IN13, which is implement mobile government infrastructure. So what we are doing today, we are building a mobile authentication system, we are building a mobile payment system, and we are building a mobile application and a mobile portal. And hopefully this will be available to all government agencies where they can launch their mobile application in an easy way, safe way, and also payments is done through mobile. We add to that, we are creating a framework, And this framework will enable government agency to have fund for all mobile initiatives. Government agency will have a guideline to use, and we will have, inshallah, an award, which is already today exists in Jazz Award, but that award will have a separate impact in the future. A good example of mobility services, you can today go to the Saudi portal, which is the channel or e-gate to Saudi Arabia through a mobile application developed in Apple and Android and Windows. Ministry of Commerce, also they have their great mobile application. If we go to the A letter, which is analytics, which is big data, as you can see, we are working with different government agencies today, and each government agency, when they ask us to help them to build a complete system, comprehensive system, to look after the business they are handling, we always advise that a BI system come on top of it. An analytical system should come on top of it. Not only a system will run your operation, but you should always analyze, get different reporting on the data that you have in a daily manner. Open data, as you can see in Saudi Arabia, we have in the Saudi portal, we have 15 different categories for open data already available today in the Saudi portal. And this is an example of it. If we're going to look at trusted, this is the latest consumer survey we have done last year. We survey 5,000 citizens in 19 different cities, men, women, Saudis, non-Saudis, aged from 15 to the highest age we can have. And this is the result that we got lately, that we have almost 70% of the users, they trust that information, or they trust the doing interaction between them and government agency. So how can we increase that trust? And the trust comes because there is no 100% integration between different agencies. There is no single login or authentication for citizen to the services. And that's why we have 4 initiatives in the second action plan. The first one is IN02, which is accelerating GSP onboarding. And today, every day, maybe we launch 2 or 3 new web services to the GSP. And IN09, which is implement GSN product enhancement, video and voice. So on the government secure network, we would like to have video and voice where better interaction will happen between different government agencies to deliver a better service. And IN11, which is implement a single sign-on. We worked very closely with Ministry of Labor, and we created a single sign-on for all the private sector. And now we are working very closely with Ministry of Interior to create a single sign-on for all citizens in Saudi Arabia. The last is extend the GSN availability to all government agencies. And now we are trying to include all government agencies. We have on board now 139 government agencies connected to the government secure network, but the plan is to have the rest of the government agencies connected to that. I hope I did not take much of your time. I hope I gave you a clear picture of what exactly the world is doing and what exactly we are trying to do. And thank you very much for listening, and thank you for Nasiba. Thank you, Nasiba, for holding this conference. And again, Engineer Ali, he feels sorry that he could not be with you guys, but I'm sure that he's here with us, his spirit is with us. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.